Thank you for staying tuned to JustAskFreeman.com. Our topic today focuses on teaching our kids all about money and how to manage it. Carolyn, in our last segment, I wanted to get to this important part of showing our kids credit card bills and explain how important it is to pay them on time. You talked about bad interest. The bad interest would be charged if the balance isn't paid in full. And most of all, you can teach your children the wise use of credit. Now, you have to help them understand credit card debt. Your word is your bond. You pay your debts. But we have to make sure that we teach our kids that credit is a, I should say,
it's a privilege.
It's a privilege. Right. Thank you for helping me with that. And not a right.
Yes.
Else they'll end up with financial handcuffs. Exactly. So teach the basics.
Yes.
Now, here's something I want to share too. You don't wait until your kids are in college just to introduce them to the basics of the financial life. So what we have to do, give them latitude.
Exactly.
Let them make mistakes and learn from them. Now, usually what college kids do, and they're doing that today. I went to school too, to college, and here's what we do. Here's what our kids do today. They are interdependent. And some kids are independent. But if they aren't taught how money works, they're not taught how to save money. They're not taught to be fiscally responsible. Well, to get on campus, they buy expensive gadgets. They buy devices, iPhones, iPads, different technological devices. Kids love it. They love entertainment. Spring break, they'll travel. They're inundated with credit cards.
That's exactly it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, a kid gets a credit card, or several of them. Maybe don't associate the fact there's debt there associated with that credit card. Now they max out the cards. Now, not only do they have school loans, they have credit card debt. Well, we as parents focus on fiscal responsibility early on, because once they hit the college scene and get out into the real world, all righty, they don't want to bring bad habits when it comes to their personal finances and economics, all right? Now,
and something else you want to do with your high school students?
What is that?
At some point when they're in high school, you want to help them to open up a checking account with their own allowance money.
Exactly.
And what you do is, because that way you can help them to learn how to make deposits, how to write checks, and how to balance the checkbook.
Right.
Because you don't want them to have that unfortunate experience of the paying for overdraft fees.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
that's very, very important, and to teach you financial discipline. You know, kids need boundaries.
Yes.
They really do. And the boundaries they learn comes from you, the parent. And the kids don't know. When they see something, they want it.
Yes.
But we have to discern the difference for them that, hey, look, you don't get everything you want when you want it. And setting and sticking to spending limits helps them learn this important lesson. Now, a question I have for you, Carolyn. I know that many parents, when their child reaches the age of 16, okay, what happens? They want a car, a big ticket item. Now, what do you do? What does the kids, how do we help kids that want big ticket items like automobiles?
Well, one thing, that's a great time for them to learn that money does not grow on trees. And they can do that by contributing a portion to paying the car or whatever, and they can do that by either summer jobs or after school jobs, whatever, so they can contribute to that purchase.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Now, something else I want to share too, Carolyn, is introducing your children to credit cards. Some folks do it, some parents do it too early. I think you have to be age appropriate in a way that is consistent with your beliefs when it comes to use of credit. Now, here's a tip. You can start a child, okay, with a secured credit card or debit card. and see how well they manage that credit. See whether or not they read the statements well and understand the statements. This is where the parent comes in. All right. Now, if they are fiscally responsible with that that secured credit card, which is sort of like a credit card with training wheels, then they can step up to that secured credit card, which would have a credit limit, and they have learned from the unsecured credit card where the credit limit was set by them based on the deposit into that debit card or unsecured credit card. Now they are on the path of making sure that they have excellent credit, because they may have to purchase big ticket items later on as they mature, homes, automobiles, etc. So that would be great practice as a stepping stone with unsecured credit cards. And then secured credit cards. It helps them in life later on. Next, we want to talk about investing and using real money. Now, I mentioned at the outset of this show that Sean was not too happy with his savings account, the interest earned.
Yes.
And he showed it to the statement to his younger brother, and that prompted him, well, my grandfather's an advisor. Well, what we can do is he can teach me how mutual funds work. And I think that's excellent. First, you move from your money market account. You go to the credit union, get one. Open a money market account or a savings account. Then look at the CD. All right? It matures in a certain time. And then you could have what we call reinvestment risk, but that'll be, the child will be able to see over time the maturity of money and how it matures with a certain vehicle. And then ease them into learning about mutual funds. Now, some parents have investment clubs for their kids. You can go online and check out the stock market games that are available on the internet. There are board games. I've seen them. So that's a good way to introduce your child, and it's got to be age appropriate. Now, some children are precocious and they understand. I've seen them at 9 or 10 understanding their stock market. Then I've seen those who are in high school and in college have no clue. So make sure they're age appropriate, and then bring them gradually from the savings account, then the money market account, then the CDs, and then they can go into mutual funds, and you could teach them how to invest. I think that is a fantastic way or step to becoming fiscally responsible.